Hello guys, good morning. You are welcome to my YouTube channel, the Explicit Tutorials. Please, as you all know, my name is Mr. Explicit or Tito Joseph. Please, as you watching this video, do subscribe so that when I upload new content, you'll be notified by YouTube. Secondly, I want to say a very big thank you to those who have helped my channel to grow in one way or the other. Some watch the comments and they also share, okay? The Lord will meet you at the point of your need. Please keep doing that. When I blow, I'll remember you, okay? So please, before I jump into this topic, Phylum Arthropoda, I will candidly advise us that if you know you haven't watched other videos on the topics treated so far, please do so for a better understanding, okay? So today's topic is Phylum Arthropoda, and most students have been disturbing me to take this topic. By God's grace, today I will be doing it to the best of my ability. I pray that I satisfy you, okay? Now, Phylum Arthropoda. You know, Phylum Arthropoda happens to be one of the eight phylum, okay? Okay, let me clarify your curiosity. We have 5 types of kingdoms, right? Kingdom Monera, Kingdom Protista, Kingdom Fungi, Kingdom Plantae, and Kingdom Animalia, alright? Under the Kingdom Monera, we have 2 divisions. We have division Cyanophyta, where the cyanobacteria belong, and we have the Schizophyta. Then under the Kingdom Protista, that is where you have the protists. That is the protozoans. That is the Plasmodium, Trypanosome, Amoeba proteus, Paramecium caudatum, Trichonympha, or Palinata. There are so many. Then under kingdom fungi, we have about 4 kingdoms. All right, about 4 divisions. We have division Zygomycota, Ascomycota, Basidiomycota, Deuteromycota, and Chytridiomycota. Yes, they are actually 5 divisions. That is plants, okay? We now have kingdom Plantae, all right? Under the kingdom plant, that is where you have the Talophyte, where you have the Spermatophyta. Spermatophyta is now divided into 2, Angiospermophyta and the Gymnospermophyta. Under the division Angiospermophyta, we now have the Monocotyledonous plant and the Dicotyledonous plant. Then under the kingdom Animalia, we now have vertebrata and invertebrata. Vertebrata contains organisms with backbones, so they are called vertebrates. While the ones without backbones are called invertebrates. The ones without backbones, which are called invertebrates, are now classified into other phyla. We have Phylum Porifera, Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, Nematode, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata. That is it. Now that is now Phylum Chordata. Under Phylum Chordata, you now have class Reptilia, Ave, Pisces, Amphibia, and what? Mammalia. Alright, so under the Phylum Arthropoda, that is what we are. That is the Phylum Arthropoda is one we are going to be doing justice to this morning. Okay. Now, before we look at the various subphyla and the various classes found here, let us look at general features of Phylum Arthropoda. Okay. Now, take note that these organisms, they have separate sexes. They have separate sexes. If they have separate sexes, it means that they are what? Dioecious, alright? They are dioecious, unlike other organisms that are monoecious. Now, please take note that in Phylum Arthropoda, the organisms possess internal fertilization, okay? The organisms have separate sexes and internal fertilization. Some of the species of organisms in this phylum could be oviparous or ovoviviparous. They could be oviparous or ovoviviparous. They are never viviparous, please. They are either oviparous or ovoviviparous. They are never viviparous. Take note of that. Number two, they also have exoskeleton. This exoskeleton possessed by this organism is made up of a type of a polysaccharide called chitin. It is not chitin, it is not chitin, it's called chitin. Chitin is that type of polysaccharide that the exoskeleton comprises, okay? Number three, these organisms, they have what is called jointed appendages. They have jointed appendages. They have jointed appendages. And also note that these organisms, they are bilaterally symmetrical, alright? They are bilaterally what? Symmetrical. They are bilaterally symmetrical, alright. Now, they are metamerically segmented. Metamerically segmented. You know, the annelids are also called what? Segmented ones. Their body is divided into different segments. Now, some of these organisms, they have different body segments or division. Some are divided into just head and trunk. I don't know what the author wrote. The textbook they wrote trunk. I don't know. What is trunk? What in big more to come do for inside AAB, for inside biology? They made a mistake. It's not trunk. It's called what? Trunk. Okay. So some of these organisms, they have head and trunk. Some have head, thorax, and what? Abdomen. Some have cephalothorax. Some have cephalothorax and abdomen. Alright? Please take note that the arachnids, which are very diversified organisms, their body division is made up of what? Prosoma, prosoma and opistosoma. That is prosoma and what? Opistosoma. Now we'll treat that right now. Number 5, these organisms, they have different modes of respiration, right? Their respiration could be done through the body surface with the use of the gill, trachea, and book lungs. I take it again. Respiration could be done by body surface, gills, trachea, and what? Book lung. Book lung. Take note of that. These organisms, they have what? They have a pair of excretory glands. This pair of excretory glands possessed by this organism is called causal. Causal is the pair of excretory gland possessed by some of these what? Organisms. Now, some organisms also have the Mapigian what? Tubule for what? Excretion. They have Mapigian tubule for what? Excretion. Take note of that. Now these organisms, they have what is called reduced coelom. Now another name for coelom is what? Body cavity. And this body cavity is made up of what is called hemocoel. And this hemocoel, you have on it occupied by blood sinuses. That is what coelom. Its body cavity is a space. It's a space that is filled with fluid, okay? And that fluid is called what? Blood. Sinuses also means space, alright? Take note of that. This organism, they have that is complex muscular. They have complex muscular system. This complex muscular system, all right, are connected to skeletal system. Now, the skeletal system is attached to the muscular system, meant for what? Attachment. It's meant for attachment, okay? And some organisms, they have, okay, these species, they have striated muscle. They have striated muscle and what? Smooth muscle. Striated muscle and smooth muscle. The striated one is meant for what? Rapid action. Rapid action. And this smooth muscle is found around the visceral region. Visceral region. Now, the visceral region of this organism is that part where you have respiratory organ, reproductive organ, digestive organ, reproductive organ, circulatory organ, nervous system, alright? So that is more of visceral. All these organs mentioned so far are situated in the visceral region. So please take note of that. Please, these guys, they have open circulatory system. They have open circulatory system. Unlike the annelids. Annelids have closed circulatory what? System. The phylum, Arthropoda, the organisms have open circulatory system. The phylum and the leader, they have closed circulatory system. Now, this circulatory system is made up of what? Dorsal hearts, arteries, and hemocoel. It's not hemocoel, it's hemocoel, okay? They have open circulatory system that is made up of what? Dorsal hearts, arteries, and what? Hemocoel. Take note of that, it is very, very important. Some organisms, they have antenna and maxillary gland. Maxillary gland and antenna are present in some organisms. Of course, you will agree with me that the arachnids do not have antenna. They do not have antenna. So have I given us what we have to note here? Some of the organisms found in phylum Arthropoda, they have they are predators or hunters, in the sense that they survive by feeding on prey. Alright, a good example is an arachnid, spider. Spider is predaceous, or it is carnivorous or insectivorous. Okay? Now, I've given you the general features of phylum Arthropoda. Let's do this. Please take note of all the features I've given us. It is very, very important. Take note of all of them. Now we have phylum Arthropoda. We have subphylum. Trilobita. We also have subphylum Chelicerata. Alright, we have subphylum Crustacea, and we have subphylum Uniramia. We have subphylum Trobilata, we have Chelicerata, we have Crustacea, and we have Uniramia. Then under the subphylum Chelicerata, that is Chelicerata, under the subphylum Chelicerata, we now have different classes. We have class Merostomata. We have class Merostomata. We have class Arachnida, and we have class Pycnogida. Okay, Pycnogida. All right, Pycnogida. And we under the Uniramia, we have different classes as well, alright? We have class Chilopoda, we have class Diplopoda, we have class Poropoda, we have class Symphila, and we have class Insecta. So these are the various classes, alright? We have 4 subphyla. That is Trilobita, Chelicerata, Crustacea, and Uniramia. Under Chelicerata, we have Merostomata, we have Arachnida, and we have Pycnogida. We have under the subphylum Uniramia, we have Chilopoda, Diplopoda, Poropoda, Symphila, and what? Insecta. Our major concern are Arachnida, this, and yes, this, and this. Alright, so as time goes on, we'll be doing justice to each of these, okay? But in today's class, we'll be treating class Arachnida. Alright, class Arachnida. Class Arachnida. Class Arachnida. Now, what are some examples of arachnids? Alright, we have ticks, we have mites, alright, we have scorpions, and we have spiders. These are all examples of arachnids. Ticks, mites, scorpions, and spiders. All of these mentioned organisms, the most commonly known one is spiders. Okay, you say the representative member of class Arachnida is spider. Now, the spider is actually a very interesting organism that has to be discussed. Take note that first and first, these organisms, they are primarily terrestrial. Alright, terrestrial. They are terrestrial, and they have various modes of, they have trachea. They have trachea and bucculum or long book for what? Respiration. Alright, they have trachea, a long book for what? Respiration. And these organisms, they have separate sexes. They have separate sexes. It means that they are what? Dioecious. And fertilization is internal. I've given examples of arachnid: ticks, mites, scorpions, and what? Spiders. Now, this is the general features of class Arachnida. Now, let us now discuss spider. Now, first and first, we'll look at the body division of spider. The body division of what? Spider. Now, spider is divided into prosoma and opistosoma. So these are the two body divisions of spider. In the prosoma region, you have a pair of claw-like gland. Now this a pair of claw-like gland is called waiting chelicerae. And this chelicerae, this chelicerae has poison. It has poison gland. They have a pair, that is on the prosoma region, they have a pair of claw-like gland called what? Chelicerae. And this chelicerae has poison gland. It is this poison gland they use in entangling or killing praise when caught in their web. Also note that in the prosomal region there is a pair. They have a simple eye. Of course, this simple eye is meant for what? Sensitivity, that is for sight, and they have 4 pairs. They have 4 pairs of walking legs, and they have 4 pairs of walking legs. They also possess what is called pedipalp. Pedipalp. Now the pedipalp could be locomotory in function, could be reproductive in function, or could act as a sensory receptor. The pedipalp, which is also found in the prosomal region, could be locomotory, reproductive, or what? Sensory in function. Please take note of that. It is very, very important. So, what I've treated, all these things I've mentioned are all in the prosomal region of spider. Now, in the prosomal region, that is where you have the reproductive organs, and the excretory organs. Okay, it's not excretory, sorry. Respiratory organs. Though excretory organ is also found in the prosomal region, okay? But I have to be specific when giving you this. Alright, I don't want to start saying what you don't have on your textbook, okay? I have to be very, very specific. Now, the respiratory organs, of course, you know it is what? The trachea and lung book. So please take note that at the tail region, between segment 5 and 7 lies what is called spinnerets. Now this spinneret contains connected silk gland. I said the opistosomal region of this organism has the reproductive organs and respiratory organs. Alright, the respiratory organs are the trachea and what? Lung book. Then at the tail region, between segment 5 and 7 lies what is called spinneret. The spinneret contains connected silk gland. This silk gland produces silk. Now, of course, silk is actually used for web building. Alright, web building, that's a cobweb. Alright, so please, the web formed by spiders is produced by this silk, secreted by the silk gland, and is found between segment 5 and 7. Don't forget this. It is found between segment 5 and 7. I believe this is clear enough. Now, what we've done is the body division, right? The body division. Now, let us look at other parts. Alright? In terms of reproduction now, I told you these guys, they have separate sexes and they have internal fertilization. Please take note that males are smaller than females. Males are smaller than females. Okay? Take note of that. It is very, very important. Now, males, they produce sperms. Sperms produced by male spiders are called spermatotheca. That is the sperms produced by male spiders. As soon as the spermatotheca is produced with the pedipalp, it is deposited into the female organ, into the female opening. As soon as it is deposited in the female opening, the eggs are laid in the cocoon. You know, the annelids, lubricus terrestris, also secretes cocoon, alright? The cocoon is that region where the larvae is actually housed. And the cocoon is produced by the clitellum, alright? Please take note of that. As soon as the eggs are laid in the cocoon, the young ones are hatched. As soon as they are hatched, they develop into adults directly. So this is all about the reproductive mode of spiders, okay? I said they have, the males are smaller than the females, they have separate sexes, and they have internal fertilization. The males produce sperms called spermatotheca, together with the pedipalp into the female opening. The eggs are laid by the females in the cocoon. Then they are hatched into young ones, and the young ones directly develops into adults. Okay, so that is the reproductive mode. Now, in terms of nervous system of this guy, in terms of nervous system of spiders, their nervous system, I call it COS. That is cerebral ganglia, esophageal ganglia, alright, esophageal ganglia, and we have segmental ganglia. All these ganglia, the cerebral, esophageal, and segmental ganglia, are connected by what is called ventral nerve cord. Ventral nerve cord. So please take note that the simple eye found in the prosoma of spider is situated in the dorsal region. I beg. It's situated in the dorsal region or dorsal part. All right. Take note of that. These three ganglia are connected together by what is called ventral nerve cord. And these organisms, they also have, they have tactile organ. This tactile organ possessed by this organism could act as chemoreception or thermoreception, all right? Which means they are sensitive to chemical and to temperature or heat. The pair of organs that act as chemoreception and thermoreception in spiders are called tactile organs. They are called tactile organs. Okay, so in terms of nutrition, I told you guys that the silk gland. Okay, yes, these organisms they are predaceous. All right. In other words, I can say they are insectivores or carnivores, or they are predators. Now, they feed on insects caught in the web. Take note that these spiders are sometimes found in their own web, awaiting insects that are caught in it so that they can start feeding on it. As soon as an insect is caught up in the web, what happens? The spider uses the poison gland to kill the insect. And the spider immediately releases what is called a digestive enzyme. Now, the type of digestive enzyme produced by the spider is the protease. Protease, which is a protein digestive enzyme. What happens? This protease, a form of digestive enzyme produced by the spider into the insect. It digests the insect in the form of what? Fluid food. As soon as it is digested as fluid food, what happens? The spider starts sucking it. It sucks the nutrients by what? Absorbing it, by absorption, and leaves the chitinous or exoskeleton parts of the insect. I take it again. Arachnid spiders they are predators or insectivores or carnivores. Alright. They feed on insects. As soon as an insect is caught up in the web, alright, they inject a poison into the organism. It kills it. Immediately they release a digestive enzyme called protease, which is a protein type of digestive enzyme. It digests it breaks down the insects in the form of what? Fluid food, so that the spider can easily suck it, and that is by what? Absorption. So please take note of that. Now, based on, I've given us nervous, nutrition, which is also called digestive. Okay. Is there another one I've not dropped? Is there another? Okay, I've dropped productive. Okay. Okay, fine. Let me bring up respiratory part again. Now, there is respiratory organ called lungbook, or trachea. All right, it's made up of 15 to 17 leaf-like plates. And these leaf-like plates that these organisms possess are highly vascularized. They are highly vascularized. For them to be highly vascularized, it means that they are well supplied with blood vessels and what? Capillaries. For them to be well vascularized, it means that it is supplied with blood vessels and what? Capillaries. Take note of that. I told you that their hearts, their dorsal hearts, alright, is connected by what is called the pulmonary lung. Pulmonary what? Lung. Take note of that. It is very, very important. Now, secondly, I'm trying to remember something right now. I'm trying to remember. Okay, good. The Malpighian tube possessed by this organism, all right, is connected. The Malpighian tube possessed by this organism is connected to the intestinal canal. And this Malpighian tube that is connected to the intestinal canal opens to the cloaca. Yeah, I'll be trying to remember this. It opens to the cloaca. Of course, the cloaca, that is where that is waste products or excretory products are given off or excreted from the body of the organism. Please, the Malpighian tube, all right, there is a Malpighian tube is found in the ventral region of the organism. Okay, and they open into the intestinal canal. They are connected to the intestinal canal. They open directly into the cloaca. From this, it is not that it's directly open. Like This is connected to this, and it opens to the cloaca. From this cloaca, waste products are what? Excreted from the body. Please, the major waste of spider is guanine. The major waste of spider is guanine. The major waste of spider is guanine. Take note of that. Take note of that. Is there any other part I've not dropped? Please, I forgot to say this. The prosoma and the opistosoma are separated by waste. Alright, the waste that separates the prosoma from the opistosoma is called the pedicel. You see, the pedicel is that structure that separates the prosoma from the opistosoma. Take note of that. It is very, very important. Is there any other part I've not said? Okay. Alright, so we are done with spiders. But let us look at other species of spiders. Take note that species of spiders are highly diversified. There are over 34,000 species. There are over 34,000 species of what? Spiders. And 9,000 species of Acarina. Acarina, you have the ticks and mites making up what? Acarina. Alright? Take note of that. Now, okay. Fine. The scorpions and pseudoscorpions, scorpions and pseudoscorpions possess an enlarged chelicerae, alright, meant for what? Capturing of prey. Capturing of prey. Capturing of what? Prey. Of course, the arena or environment is made up of what? Spiders. Spiders are everywhere, okay? Now, another species called Phalangida. Phalangida is otherwise called harvestman. I'll also call it daddy long leg. Daddy long leg. Why is it called daddy long leg? It's because it has an extra enlarged walking leg. It has an extra enlarged walking leg. Take note of that. It is very, very important. In ticks, like the ticks and mites, have their mouth parts. Their mouth parts are modified into what is called hypostome. Alright, the mouth parts of ticks, alright, and mites are modified into what is called hypostome. You would also agree with me that the ticks and mites are ectoparasites. They are ectoparasites of vertebrates. They are ectoparasites of vertebrates. Animals with backbone. They are ectoparasites of vertebrates, and the mouth parts are modified into the hypostome. Also note that in certain diseases caused by some pathogens, ticks and mites can act as well vectors. They can act as vectors. I believe I'm done with this. I'm done with this. Okay, so let us look at subphylum Mandibulata. Subphylum Mandibulata. Subphylum Mandibulata. Subphylum Mandibulata. mandibulata, all right, mandibulata. Now they have a pair. They have a pair of what? Mandibles. Of course, that is why they belong to subphylum mandibulata, because they have a pair of what? Mandibles. They also have a pair of what? Maxillae. They also have a pair of maxillae, and some organisms have a pair of maxillus. They have a pair of maxillus, and some have what is called second mandible, second maxillae rather. They have a pair of mandibles, hence they are found under subphylum mandibulata. They have a pair of maxillae or maxillus, and some have secondary or second maxillae. And take note that these organisms, they are highly diversified, and they are found in land, water, and what? Air. Alright. So at this point, we'll call it a day. If you know you learned something in today's video, please endeavor to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Please subscribe so that when I upload this part 2 on second video on this topic, you'll be notified by YouTube. Do have a wonderful day.